Let me guess, if you're watching this video, you've been applying to tons of jobs and getting nothing but rejections, probably feeling completely hopeless about your job search. We see all these headlines in the media saying that the market is horrible and it's really hard to get a job, and we're just really depressed about it. But here's the reality. The unemployment rate is at 4.2%, which is crazy low historically. So it's not actually that there are not jobs out there, it's that the strategies have evolved and you are not implementing them and you're getting left behind. In this video, I'm gonna break down exactly how you should optimize your LinkedIn. We're gonna show you live feedback from a webinar I hosted with 200 attendees, breaking down their LinkedIns one by one, because if you're not booking interviews, it's because your resume, your LinkedIn, and everything else you're delivering to the recruiter are not in sync and aligned with the strategies that need to be implemented in 2024 for the AI algorithms to place you at the front of the queue so that the recruiter even knows you exist. We're gonna jump to some of these live LinkedIn audits here in a second, but if you're in your job search, you know you need support, definitely like and subscribe to our channel so we can give you awesome new videos every single week to make sure you're beating out all the other people in the job market and increasing your personal income. Let's jump into the first few LinkedIn reviews. Let's break this down. How do you pronounce your name? You can unmute yourself.
It's Navya.
Navya, perfect. Awesome. Are you in India currently?
No, I am a student at Purdue University, Indiana.
Got it. And
I
you're
live
looking
in
for.
India.
Got it. So you're in the United States studying at Purdue?
Actually, I'm not working right now. I'm just student, but then I had experience previously, so it's not an updated profile.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
But you're looking for a job in the United States.
Yes, actually, I'm in my last semester.
Cool.
I've just started.
Awesome. Sweet. So small thing, definitely change this to the United States. One thing I'll just mention now that is probably relevant to everyone in some way or another is the modern job market is like dating apps in the sense that there's so much choice. There's literally 500, 400, 300 people that applied to this job that the slightest yellow flag is a reason to swipe left because they have to filter through so many people. So, and it's definitely a thing, like ageism is a thing that if they're going to hire someone in the United States, they want someone who they'll make an unconscious judgment that like, oh, this person's living they're from a different country and their experiences in a different country. So, and they don't even think this logically, but it happens unconsciously. They're going to say, or they're going to think, okay, well, that is riskier than just picking someone who lives in the United States and their experience is in the United States. So I would encourage you to change everything where you can to like that you're based out of the United States and Indiana. So change it there. And if you can change it on any of your experience, fantastic. If not, or just maybe even, I don't know if you can totally remove the location, but that might be helpful to do that. So
Okay.
Let's see here. Definitely a lot of room for improvement. What I'm going to do is pull up a couple example profiles of some of my clients because I think it'll be helpful to showcase what it can look like rather than just describing what's missing. There's a couple clients that we got really good results for. So what I think is fantastic that you did is write senior software engineer. That's great because for keywords, literally the first thing you always want in your bio is the title of the job you're going after. So for me, I was going for senior product manager jobs. This should say senior product manager first and foremost for everyone. Whatever job title you're going after, the first thing in your bio here should be that. And the bio, this about, I guess it's a headline, is really important because it's only a few words. So it's weighted really heavily. I don't know, can you mute?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. I don't know if that's you, but I'm definitely getting some background noise. And you can unmute when I ask you a question. All right. All this looks really good. Let's see. So that being said, you want to take up all the space here. So you want to make sure you're using, I would say, all 3 lines. So Kerrigan here was a past client. We got her a couple job offers pretty quickly, and I think she does a really good job. So she's a product director transforming insights into product innovation, another big keyword and buzzword. So for you guys, you want to jam pack at least 3 or 4 buzzwords in here. She also has marketing in there as a buzzword, helping brands, buzzword, connect deeply with their audience, buzzword, data-driven web design, buzzword. So that is a formula you guys can use. And if we look at Alan, his is like very niche. We placed him at this company as a COO. But again, COO, first thing at the company. You don't necessarily need to do that in yours. Leading experience, like all buzzwords: experiential education, sustainability, responsible travel, clean tech, clean energy, blah, 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 blah. So for you guys, and specifically for you, Navia, I would make sure you're packing all the buzzwords as possible. So whatever coding languages, whatever best practices, like whether you're more front end or back end, you could include some of that type of language. Like, yeah, I would just make sure that you get that to like 3 solid lines. So that's one thing. We're gonna technically spend more time going over yours, but I'm really just gonna point out some really positive things from these other two that will probably be feedback that we'll just kind of point back to for most other people. So when it comes to your about section, this isn't bad. Like, I'm glad that you have a decent amount written here, but I'd encourage you to write it in a way that gives more insight into your personality, and it's easier to read, and I can connect with you more. Everything about this should feel like this is marketing, like anything is marketing. So if you get a marketing email in your inbox and you open it and it's like you almost never actually read those type of emails, but if you open one and it's written in a way that's really engaging and easy to read and it's a story, you might actually read on and maybe even click and engage with it. It's the same thing here. And this is fine, but I would say it's fine at best. So if we look at these other two examples, Kerrigan's reads like a story. So it's about her background, about her passions. So it's about that, but it's also about two other things: quantification and conveying your value and your impact. So she has a section here for key achievements, where she's actually quantifying the impact she's made. Skills and really just skills mean nothing. That's kind of a brash overstatement, but if you can do something, no one really cares. They care about the impact you're able to make. If I'm going to pay you $150,000 a year to be an engineer, I need to know that you're going to give me $500,000 in value. So, and honestly, maybe engineering is a bit more black and white, where they're like, I just need someone who can write in this coding language. But for everyone else on this call who's not an engineer, or it's maybe not as hyper technical, they don't really care that you can do brand marketing content. They care, did you add significant revenue to your company last year? So when you're thinking about quantifying anywhere on your resume, but on here also, your quantification really should be in dollar value impact as much as possible. And then the last thing that Kerrigan did really well here that you should all do is keywords. So I keep saying keywords, SEO, ATS. You want to incorporate it anywhere you can. So she literally just probably ChatGPT, what are the top, or she picked this up from looking at a lot of job postings, what are the keywords in these job postings? And she literally just dropped them all in here because it's more data that the LinkedIn algorithm can pull from to say, is she a good fit or not? And she positioned it in a way that she often was a yes, and she got way more interviews. So hopefully that's a good contrast. Let's see Alan's. I think Alan's is a little bit more concise, but pretty similar concept. So he actually did not even he sort of incorporated it all together. So he's got 4 paragraphs here, but it's easy to read. It's more of a story. You feel like you can connect with him more. He's got his dollar value stuff in there, but it's really easy to read. So hopefully those are 2 good examples for you, Navia, on how you can.
So it should not be like a bullet points, or it should be like a story rather than this.
Yeah, it should read more like a story, incorporate a bit more like, this, like the storytelling in Kerrigan and Alan's example is positioning why they're such a unique, good fit for the type of role they're going after. So that would be the intention. You can still talk about these things, but I would just put it in a way that is more engaging and positions you more as someone who delivers a lot of impact, and do some quantification in here as well. So that's that. When it comes to your experience, ton of room for improvement here. Again, if we go back to the other two, how they wrote about, and really you should maximize as much space in LinkedIn as possible. On your resume, you should be limited to 1 page max, but on your LinkedIn, you can have much more stuff written, and every extra word you have is an extra opportunity for, especially good, potent keywords, is an opportunity for the algorithm to position you higher because they see more of those aligned words. So if we look at, this is her company she started and ran, but nonetheless, just look how much she wrote about it. So she's just got a ton of buzzwords and keywords in here, and some quantification as well. If we look at her more traditional work experience, Similar, she wrote 2 paragraphs about each role. I think she could have done a better job of quantifying. She does have a good amount in here as well. I probably would, if she wasn't getting good results, I would go back and challenge her to add more quantification. But like, look at this. This is literally just 2 lines of straight keywords. And it's just on and on and on. So the people who are actually getting interviews have like really thorough descriptions of the job postings, which the algorithm favors and enjoys. So hopefully that gives you some insight into what you can do here, because you're giving the algorithm literally nothing.
Yeah. So generally it shows like to add up in the buttons, right? Like it shows you like from which date you started and which date you end the job. So I think where it shows the description or something, I did not fill in anything. I remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so definitely go back and do that. Skills. Everyone should have at least 75 skills on their profile and go audit them. I know for me, my skills, some of the skills I filled out when I was in college, so they were really not relevant to the jobs I'm going after. But the skills are another place where the SEO really affects your rankings. So go hard skills over soft skills. Like everyone should be able to communicate. If you can't communicate, I don't know how you even submitted a resume, but or like leadership, like everyone should be able to be a leader for the most part. So more like tactical skills, like coding languages, et cetera, et cetera. So hopefully you found a few insights from those last 2 reviews that you can implement in your own LinkedIn. And the crazy thing is that when you optimize not only your LinkedIn, but your resume and all the other things that are important, you start getting results like this. I got both of these text messages literally today from clients. One who's booked 9 interviews over a 10-day period, and another who booked 4 interviews in his first week of us running his application system. This stuff does work, so let's jump into a few more LinkedIn audits to get even more value out of what you should be doing in your profile. Phoebe, and one thing I should have mentioned on the last one, your profile picture and your background are solid. You know, I think HP is a solid company. The fact that it's on there, it's kind of like a good eye catcher thing. Nice picture. So solid there. Same thing for Phoebe. Great picture. And I love the calming background photo. That's solid. The same feedback I would give is for your headline here. What are you going after a role called market researcher, like the next role you want?
It would be a research analyst, consumer insights analyst.
Cool. 2 things. One, this is something everyone should just do anyways. One of the biggest predictors of how many interviews you get is how many jobs you're able to apply to. Um, so, and you really do want to optimize your resume and your LinkedIn for a specific job title. So it might be helpful to go understand how many, between those 2 job titles, how many roles are out there. And then if one of those roles has like double or triple the amount of available roles, I would probably prioritize the language for that role in these type of places. And you could probably honestly put both up in here for now. That's one thing.
Okay.
And then the other thing, but I guess I just said it, is I would swap this out for that title that you're going after, just so the algorithm is assuming, oh, she's already doing this work, so she's probably really qualified to do it. And for all of you guys, if you're not sure what other keywords and buzzwords, you can literally ask ChatGPT, hey, ChatGPT, I'm writing a headline for my LinkedIn. What are the top 5 buzzwords I should have for this job title? And it'll give you some. So you can do that. I would say this is written in a nice readable way where I feel like I get to know you a little bit, your personality, kind of, it feels like your personality is coming through as I read this. And just like I mentioned previously, like really expand on this, highlight some of your biggest accomplishments, get a lot of extra keywords in there, and then you'll be on the right track.
Okay.
And for everyone too, this top skills section, I'm pretty sure you can do this in your profile settings, but everyone should also definitely take advantage of the top skills, which is great. You have a couple in there. I think you can add a few more. So I definitely go and do that. Same feedback in terms of experience would be just make sure you're writing about it like literally as much as possible. And like you can use ChatGPT to help you. Definitely go back and make it sound human. But you want like literally 4 to 7 paragraphs for each job. Is anyone going to read it? I don't know, but at least if you have all that stuff in there, the algorithm will probably favor you and at least more humans will see it. So that's what we really care about.
Gotcha.
Yeah. One other thing for everybody that I noticed for the last two is consistency with content. LinkedIn, you can probably imagine, favors people who are active on the platform because it's a good thing for them. So for all of you guys, it would be well worth your effort to go write. And again, you can use ChatGPT to support you. You can literally upload your resume. Well, actually, first, I'd probably say, hey, what are the top 5 blog posts I could write about on LinkedIn to convey that I'm an expert in blank as I'm searching for a job in blank? And then cool, you get the 5 different job, like the different blog post titles. Cool. Upload your resume and be like, use my resume to write a blog post about this title and fill it in with experience that I had in my own life. And you have like a pretty good starting point that saved you. You literally can do that in 3 minutes. And then go like make an AI image or something. And just, if you sprinkle in 5 pretty cool blog posts on your profile, that'll go a long way in the algorithm as well, seeing that you're like kind of active. So I'd recommend that for everybody. Skills, same thing. Go back and audit your skills, add a bunch. You're off to a great start. I hope this has been really helpful for you. What we're going to do to close this out is just recap all the things you need to do in your LinkedIn to make sure it's supercharged and that you're at the front of the line anytime you apply to a job so recruiters see that you applied and they actually reach back out to you. The first is a really high quality headshot. Take off the open to work label if it's on there. A really clean professional background photo. A headline that's optimized with keywords, an about section that is thorough, tells your story, feels personable, has a lot of keywords, job descriptions that are packed to the brim with keywords and impact, maxing out your skills section, and posting lots of content consistent. We're about to jump into the next set of LinkedIn reviews, but if you know you need support, I highly encourage you get access to our free Resume AI Accelerator program that helps you use AI to optimize your resume. We usually charge people $197 for this, but it's free for you. Click the link below to get access. Okay, this is something that has not come up yet. Open to work. If you have open to work on your picture, take it off. Go into your settings, turn off the profile picture version. You can still leave on the back end. Still leave the setting as open to work on your profile on the back end. But in a way, when you turn off the profile picture, no one can see it except for the recruiters who pay for LinkedIn Premium and are trying to find people to reach out to for job postings. So I honestly encourage all of you guys to be open to work on the back end because more recruiters will reach out to you. But on the front end, it just makes you look desperate and unemployed. That sounds harsh, but it's kind of true. Always have a cover photo. Again, it's one of those things that it's the Tinder, your version of this yellow flag of like, okay, this person they didn't even take the time to make their profile look a little more professional. There's 298 other applicants who did. I'll go talk to them because I don't even really want to waste my time. So they don't think that logically, but the brain is always trying to consume energy, and any excuse to just eliminate someone, they'll take it. So have a nice professional cover photo. This is great. This is a perfect example of what it can look like. I would almost take, because if you're looking, are you looking for a job or an internship?
I'm looking for an entry-level role in online sales closing.
Got it. Cool. And as I say, like in sales?
Mhm.
Cool. So I would probably change this to sales representative, a solid salesperson. Okay. This is pretty good, actually. It's not bad. I might take out you almost don't want to call out the fact that you're still an undergrad. Because they'll be like, again, if I'm putting myself in the mindset of I have 400 people to choose from, I might as well go choose the person who has got at least a year or two of experience. So you might want to and that's the first thing I read about you, I might just peace out. But if you don't mention that at the beginning, they read more about you, they get more bought in on the value you have. You might want to make that change. So you could put like remote closer here or remote set. You could even just take this part out, but up to you. I would take out, again, you want to make it come across that you're already good at the thing. So take out aspiring and I love that you already made the updates to this based on the framework, unless you already have this in here and then that's just a wild coincidence. But yeah, I would reframe this and just really try to convey that you already have the skill sets and you're already good at the thing. So aspiring sales professional unconsciously conveys that you've never done it before, which will make it much less likely for someone to want to hire you to do it. So I would actually speak more about the other sales experience that you have had and highlight the KPIs and the impact you've had, how much revenue you've done, et cetera, so that you're more conveying a case study, like a case study portfolio of all the achievements you have in sales and why you are already a good fit for the role. Same thing with your content. You could make a couple posts about remote sales, like best practices, how to be a really great remote closer, all things new remote closers should know, things I learned doing XYZ at XYZ company, stuff like that. This is great. This is a great, this is sweet. Yeah, 3,000. That's awesome. Super cool. Yeah, some good quantification. Love that. You could probably just, again, do the same thing of just getting as much buzzwords and keywords as possible, kind of just asking. You could even plug it into ChatGPT and ask it to expand upon it. I'm really trying to optimize for SEO on LinkedIn, expand this into a more long form description with more buzzwords for remote closer or remote sales rep, et cetera, et cetera. And then I would just kind of do that for all the roles. "44 skills, pretty good. Maybe go back and see if you can get anything else in there. I don't know if these are popping up in particular for, just because they're mentioned most in your job experience, but I would just make sure all the sales related skills are in there. They may already be, but definitely just try to do that. But yeah, otherwise looks great. You're off to a great start, and I think with a couple of tweaks, it'll be really solid.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, Div. All right, love this. This is pretty sweet, really professional. This is solid, especially if you want to stay in this field. Payments, Gen AI, chatbots, fintech, AI specialist. That's all good. You might be able to get some buzzwords for product management that are a little more generalized. So things like Agile, Scrum, some of the other things that you just can assume are going to show up in almost all job postings. But again, if you want a very specific type of job, then you can kind of ignore that feedback. This looks really solid. You could, again, let's see. Yeah, this is good. I feel like this is pretty much exactly what we're looking for in a lot of ways. Great job with a little bit about yourself, key accomplishments, quantification. I'm not a huge fan of percentages because it's like, cool, it generated a 26% increase in sales. Was that like $17 or $17 million? So percentages don't go a long way to really convince anyone of value. And everyone's pretty skeptical until they see a dollar value. So you might want to consider reflecting on all this stuff and think about how can I get a bigger dollar value in terms of either cost savings or revenue generated into some of these. And again, if you're using an estimate, I think that's totally fine as well. Just being comfortable with that. But the keywords and buzzwords are dialed here. I can tell. That's fantastic. A little personality. Yeah, this all looks really great. It seems like a good amount of content. I don't know how recent all this content is, but that's cool that's on there. Seems like a lot of your content is a bit outdated, so it'd probably be nice to just drop a couple of blog posts in to just help the algorithm churn up and get warm. Big opportunity here. Clearly a new role for you, but I would describe some of this work. Maybe you don't want to show people at Sync that you're looking for a job, or looking for another opportunity, which I totally understand. But again, we're going back to these percentages. So I would say definitely expand on this, add more bullet points, talk more about the skills and the thing. Really, just keyword soup, buzzword soup. Get as much buzzwords in each of these roles as possible. Yeah, definitely a lot more opportunity for each of these. That's probably the biggest thing in your profile that I'm seeing. Like this, we want to see a lot of this, but then change some of the percentages to dollars.
54 skills, that's solid.
Sweet. I hope you got a ton of value out of everything that we just covered. Again, if you're in your job search, you're struggling, a few things. One, definitely subscribe to our channel so you get all our free videos that we post weekly. And two, if you really know you need support, I encourage you to book a call with our team to have a quick 15-minute discovery on how we might be able to support you in your job search to not only optimize your LinkedIn, your cover letter, your resume, but apply to upwards of 2,000 relevant jobs for you using AI automation and outsourcing. If that's you, definitely use the link to book a call, and we'll talk to you soon.